With the release of the Commonwealth expansion for Hell Let Loose due pretty soon, I thought we'd go through the things I want most for this expansion. And let me know down in the comments below what you want for this expansion and your thoughts on what I'm going to come up with. So first off, I think they should release with at least 2 maps. When the Soviets were released, it came with Stalingrad and Kursk. So with the Commonwealth, they should at least have 2 maps. If they could have more in, that would be great. Even if it's just still 2 Commonwealth maps and then an extra Soviet or American map, that would be fine. Extra content is still extra content, and we always want it, really. It'll just be a better expansion with that extra content going in. And the setting of the Commonwealth expansion, I think really they should go for the North African campaign. A lot of people may want Operation Market Garden to be represented, but I think with North Africa, it'll be such a different looking and potentially feeling like playstyle or map style, because if you look at the architecture of the buildings that would be in North Africa compared to like the Western Front, the Eastern Front, Operation Market Garden, it would be completely different. A fear I kind of have is if they go with Operation Market Garden, it wouldn't feel or look too different. While buildings in the Netherlands will, of course, look different to the Western and Eastern Front, I think the North African campaign will just be so different and would be a lot more impactful to the game. Down the line, if they wanted to add in Operation Market Garden content, yeah, go for it. Why not? But to start with, North Africa. Now, since the Commonwealth forces are made up of multiple countries, originally the Commonwealth expansion was just going to be the British expansion, but now they renamed it to the Commonwealth expansion because the Commonwealth, they did use a lot of the same weapons. I'm not sure about uniforms, but what they're going to do, this is based on an interview that Max, the CEO of Black Matter, gave quite a long time ago, is have the other Commonwealth forces represented as cosmetic DLC. So you could just change your loadout to dress like a British person or Australian person, for example. So because of that, I think they really need to put in some of the unique Commonwealth weapons with the expansion launch. Some examples I have that they can put in include the Owen gun. And the Owen was an SMG developed in Australia by Evelyn Owen, who developed his first prototype in 1931, finished his design in 1938, but his initial design was rejected by the Australian military because they were waiting for the Sten gun to be finished. Owen then actually joined the Australian Imperial Force and he was set to deploy out into the Middle East, but he spoke about his design to a local plant manager and eventually he was discharged from the army and his weapon went into production, and the weapon was actually found to be more accurate and more reliable than the Sten and the Thompson. The Owen does have quite a unique design, especially comparing it to any other gun we have in the game with its vertical magazine. But I would expect it to pretty much work like the Thompson or the MP40 in the game, or pretty much like the Sten as well. It would just be something that would be a little bit different, but I think it's something they should put into the game. Another Australian SMG they could put into the game would be the Austin SMG. And the Austin was developed from the Sten gun and it incorporated aspects of the MP40 into it. And it was pretty much an improved version of the Sten gun, but it wasn't really used as much as the Owen was because the Owen was just seen as a better weapon. Again, this would just give us another different SMG to use in Hell Let Loose. The Charlton Automatic Rifle. Now this was actually developed in New Zealand and it pretty much, from what I can see, is a fully automatic conversion of the Lee Enfield rifle. If you don't know what the Lee Enfield was, it's the main bolt action rifle used by the Commonwealth forces. And this rifle can just use the standard 10 round Lee Enfield magazine, but also a modified 30 round Bren gun magazine. I think the Commonwealth forces in Hell Let Loose are really crying out for an automatic rifle because really we have the Bren gun and that's it, and the Bren gun really is like a LMG as well. And I don't think they should put the LMG in the machine gunner role and the automatic rifleman role, or just put different SMGs to the automatic rifleman role. They should use the Charlton automatic rifle, and it's a really unique weapon. I have never heard of this weapon until doing a little bit of research for this video. Get the Charlton in there because it looks cool and it could be really cool. The Delisle Carbine, or the Delisle Commando Carbine, and this is a suppressed rifle that was used by British commandos. A lot of people would not want suppressed weapons in Hell Let Loose, but suppressed weapons, they were used in World War II, but yes, by commando units or like specialist military units. And I think if they added the Commando Carbine in, give it to the sniper as a unlockable loadout, because it would be a really unique weapon for the Commonwealth forces. And the Delisle, it was designed with an integrated suppressor, it used subsonic ammunition, and that made it extremely quiet in action. People saying possibly one of the quietest firearms ever made. Now, if they made this and had the same damage characteristics as the other sniper rifles in Hell Let Loose, where it'd be one-shot kill to infinite distance, that would be a bit OP, so they should balance it down to maybe be a one-shot kill to under 100 meters or maybe under 50 meters and make it 2 shots after that, but a headshot is an insta-kill at any range, and possibly even give it a more exaggerated bullet drop just for gameplay balance. Because it would be harder to use, because you won't be getting that pretty much guaranteed one-shot kill potential and exaggerated bullet drop, I think less people would probably want to use it. But the people that used it a lot and could compensate for the bullet drop well, it could be like a masterful weapon. A broadsword and longbow. Now I know what pretty much everyone's thinking here. Why on earth would we want a broadsword or a longbow into Hell Let Loose? It's a World War II shooter. Why? Well, adding this in would actually be historically accurate, sort of. There was a British infantryman who later joined the commandos called Jack Churchill, and he took into battle a broadsword, a longbow, and bagpipes. There are stories of Jack Churchill using his sword to raise it above his head to signal or charge, getting kills with his longbow, playing his bagpipes as he would exit landing craft. I actually found some historical footage of Jack Churchill in action after helping to capture the town of Malina, if I've said that correctly, in Italy. Quite a while ago, it was announced by Black Matter that they had a paid-for expansion in development, and really it was safe to assume that that would be the British or the Commonwealth expansion. And I don't think that it should be a paid-for expansion at all. If it's paid for, then it's just going to split the player base, and what's going to happen is that a lot of servers, while they'll have the British maps in at the beginning of like the release, they'll start to filter them out because most people probably won't buy the British expansion. What they need to do is make it a free expansion. If they want to make money from it, just release it with bare bones cosmetics and then have a bunch of paid for cosmetics released alongside it, or make it a paid for expansion but it has technically a free version as well, which comes with restrictions for non-paying players. Those restrictions could just be locked off cosmetics, maybe they're locked to the first loadout for each role, something that wouldn't impact the game too much. And I say the first loadout for each role because that loadout will allow your role to still perform its main duties, such as anti-tank will have probably a Piat, the support will be able to drop its crates, engineer will be able to build and repair stuff. It'll just lock you off from maybe the more exotic or different loadouts. But if I could choose how they should do it, make it free and just put the more exotic Commonwealth cosmetics as paid for DLCs. And I also think that Hell Let Loose should get a new mode. We have Warfare and Offensive, which is really just variations of Conquest. Go to this area, stand still for a bit, wait for the meter to fill up so you can capture it. Put something different into the game. If they go down the North African route, there was a lot of tank battles that happened, so maybe they can make an armor only mode. Make it so you could have more than 10 tanks active at one time for just giant tank battles, and that's more than 10 tanks each side. Or maybe they should go down having a destruction objective, even if it's something as simple as going to an area and destroying certain buildings or certain gun emplacements, just something that's a little bit different. So that's my wish list. Yes, I could have gone into fixes and changes to the meta, but really my wish list is about content for the expansion. But let me know what you think down below. What do you want to come with the expansion? Give this video a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and thank you guys for watching.